Breaking tonight, the House in uncharted territory as Kevin McCarthy is voted out as House Speaker earlier in the day. President Donald Trump weighed in on Truth Social, saying this, quote, "Why is it that Republicans are always fighting among themselves? Why aren't they fighting the radical left Democrats who are destroying our country?"
So how could divisions on Capitol Hill spill over into the 2024 election? Joining us now, former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. I have to say that the tweet, or whatever the thing is called, from Donald Trump is kind of funny, given the fact that disruption is kind of his middle name. But the bottom line is, and you know this better than anybody, Governor Huckabee, how much do people care about what's going on in the House right now compared to, say, gas prices, inflation, or the invasion at the border?
Well, they care a whole lot more about the gas prices and groceries and the border mess. But they also know that when Congress can't even keep a speaker, and you've got a very small handful of people who can't get anything passed, but they can gum up the works to get anything done, they look at that and they say, no wonder the border's a mess. No wonder everything's all goofed up. And while Joe Biden deserves most of the credit for the inflation, for the lower wages, and all the Bidenomics that have been a disaster, to the average American who doesn't keep up with the stuff in detail, they look at this and they say, way to go, Republicans. You could be working for me and trying to get something fixed, but instead, you're out there piddling around with your inside baseball stuff. I thought it was a horrible day for Republicans, was not a good look. I hosted fundraisers in my home for Matt Gaetz when he got started running for Congress. I wouldn't do it now. I just feel like that he has, I don't even know what his end game is. I just can't figure it out because he can't get what he wants. So what is it that he's going to get other than maybe he'll muck it up for Kevin McCarthy? But to what end?
So what do you think the chances are that Matt Gaetz could wind up being the next speaker?
I would say there's a greater chance that I will be the next astronaut on the space shuttle than that will ever happen.
I would vote for that. I would also vote for you for speaker, but
Yeah, and I'm Loretta Lynn sitting here right now.
Yeah.
But when Charlie said that, what was the word you used about President Trump? Disruptive.
Yeah.
He meant that as a high compliment.
Yeah.
But Charlie made the point. You bring it up with the governor that the fallout for Republicans historically from, say, shutdowns.
Oh, yeah, no.
There is no fallout. They benefit. And
if you go back through the history of these government shutdowns, in which every single time the Democrat media blames Republicans, Republicans have worn that thing every single time there's a government shutdown. And you look at the elections afterwards, there have been a few that have been kind of mediocre. But in most of them, Republicans do better afterwards. And my argument about all of it would be that, we knew that we were going to come to this at some point. I just wish that Republicans would make it about something, make it about spending, make it about the border if you're going to have a government shutdown. And the same goes if you're going to have a congressional shutdown.
Well, Donald Trump is a disruptor, but what he typically disrupts is the status quo. He disrupts the Washington game of a donor-controlled city where nothing really changes. He disrupts the deep state. What we're seeing now is just a disruption of the procedures of the House, and Americans aren't benefited by that one bit. So I agree with you, Charlie. If you make it about something important, the balanced budget amendment, that's worth a fight. Term limits, that's worth a fight. But, just having personalities, this guy versus this guy, Americans don't care who the speaker is. What they care about is, are you doing anything that helps my paycheck get stretched a little better? And what they saw today did not help the American public one bit.
Boom. Huckabee, Mike, governor, father, preacher, Arkansan. Thank you, sir. Good to see you.
Thanks.